Hello. Hi. Welcome to Above Life Channel. The purpose here is to inspire your spirit and to fill you with hope. Today, we're going to have a Sunday morning coffee conversation. Welcome to the podcast. I know it has been a time in this transition into the new year. I'm just going to double check to make sure that our audio is working. Just waiting, just waiting. If you are in the chat, hello. Can you give me a thumbs up and let me know if the audio is working? I'm waiting for my phone to load here. It's not loading. Here we go. Oh, it says I'm live, so that's good, but let's just see. Hi, Patty. I hope you're doing well. I sent you an email. I just saw your email. Sorry about that. Oh, good. Okay. Patty is one of our moderators here, so hi. Thank you. Hey, thank you. I know, nice to see you. It's not technically Sunday morning. I know it's afternoon, but oh my gosh, my time now is so slow. I'm in like slow motion at the new year. Hi, seeing you in the chat. Nice to see you. We're going to talk about energy. We're going to talk about the energy dip that's kind of happening. It's a dip, but then it's going to come back up and it's going to dip again. There's a couple of dips during the month of January, it feels like. Now, I don't do astrology, but I follow some astrologers. I would recommend Molly McCord as one of them. She's great. And thank you to my friend Sandra in Texas, who recommended her to me months ago. And so she is just fabulous. Molly McCord is really good. She's got a podcast, so you can listen to her on your iTunes, or also I think she's also on YouTube, Molly McCord. Okay. And so I've heard that there are some just nuances, we'll say, to this energy in this new year so far in January. Like, it doesn't really feel like the first of the year yet for many people. And it's like there's this blur in a way, like we transitioned, we stepped over this threshold into 2024, but yet it's like, did 2023 really happen? Like the last month of 2023? And I thought it was just me because of all the stuff I've been focusing on for my cocooning, my personal physical body healing. I thought it was just me. I'm like, oh, it's probably just me. But no, it turns out it's a lot of people. And then my psychic friends that I've been chatting with too have also indicated that they've been feeling that too. And so there are definitely energy dips. So I want you to be aware that if it feels like you're on one of those big yellow slides that they have at amusement parks, or the state fair, and you kind of go down and then up and down and up. Yeah, that's normal. That's kind of typical right now. And it's what you do with the energy. It's what you do with those dips, those lulls. And it's not waiting for the other shoe to drop, so to speak, where you're going back up again. Like, okay, it's easy, it's hard. It's easy, it's hard. Or, okay, everything seems good right now. I know something not so good's coming. No. So I'm here today to ease your ego mind, because I myself have been super ultra triggered in just the first couple of days of the month in relation with other people, and that old kind of stress paradigm that comes through, where it's like there's this expectation inside your body that you respond in a certain way to similar situations, like somebody asking for money. Anybody have like a college kid or anything, or a kid that asks you for money, like a grown ass adult kid? Yeah. Like I have like 3 grown ass adult kids, right? 3 grown ass adult kids. Can't count. 3 grown ass adult kids right now. And only one of them is like, oh my God, but still it's a lot. And it's like, what do you commit to? How do you help? When do you draw the line? And I spent 2 hours this morning on the phone with a friend of mine talking about the whole old paradigm stuff. And she's got a situation with her grandbaby coming up. And that is a lot for her to kind of process. And then she was giving me the extra the externalities, we'll call it that. These other things, these other people, these other involvements, these entanglements, these complicated old patterns from past pain and hurt, and how it's so influential on the situation, and it just causes a real difficulty in movement. And so there's like this dip of energy, and the dip for some can be like heavy and really just not just stagnant. Okay, for some the extreme is very deep heaviness, which is like a depression. And for me, I can relate to that, and I have felt that I've had moments of the heaviness, not to the extent that I did this time last year, as I shared with you all that I've shared with you here on Above Life channel. I've been open about my struggle with depression last year, my diagnosis with the depression, and connected to this big dark night of the soul that I was working through and working on in discovering new parts of myself, and having it just totally upend my entire life and my separation and all that at that time. And now this energy of this dip, it does sneak back in and it does feel heavy, but the weight of it is up to us. It is negotiable. Okay. So the energy dip weight is negotiable. Okay. It doesn't have to be a full on depression or a full on what the fuck, angry, expressive moment. However, I highly recommend that you let yourself feel. So if you're in that place and you're angry and you're just pissed off, don't spray that like a flamethrower onto people that you love and care about, even if they're the ones triggering you. Acknowledge that you're being triggered. And that anger and that energy is you. It's not that person. That person is just doing the same stuff they've always done. And they're in the same energy patterns with you that they've always been, whether it be your kid, your spouse, your coworker, your boss, even if you're in a different job, by the way. You tend to find the same bosses, don't you? You tend to find the same lovers, don't you? And so the thing is the common denominator is you. I am the common denominator. So when the dip is happening, I get to negotiate how low I'm going to go. And what that means, the definition of the low, the definition of the dip, okay? It's not despair. It does not have to be despair. You don't have to freak out and unplug from the world for 3 months. You don't have to do that. You can freak out and unplug from the world for a few days. But then you have to access your tools for energetic support, for healthy intuitive awareness, for your physical body health. You have to eat again. And if it's hard to eat because you don't have that appetite, you have to recognize that your physical body is asking that you eat nutritiously, and that you do some things that are going to help your physical body, like stand outside and breathe the air. Yes, I know. I know it's hard to stand outside and breathe the air when there's a full-on snowstorm. There's not any here, by the way, yet in Minnesota. I'm talking about my friends on the East Coast. Yeah, like my friend who is in Miss Maine, who is driving home from the hospital and like, oh my gosh, look at the snow. Oh my goodness. And I hope she's cozied up. I hope you cozied up. I hope you're not watching this. I hope you're cozied up, and I hope you're getting sleep for your next ER night shift. Anyway, the energy of the dip and how it affects us, or how much it affects us, is on us. And it's okay to feel like shit. It's totally normal. Okay. When you go on social media and you see people all like, yay, life is so great. And they seem like they're so great and they have their shit together and they're doing their business and, selling their purses or selling their art or whatever it is. And then you see the opposite of that, like the people who are just like, oh my God, everybody, it sucks. I'm living in my car and I haven't showered in 2 weeks because I can't afford the new subscription now because they raised the rates at Planet Fitness and that's where I shower, and that kind of thing. Like you see this total contrast of yay and ugh. And so what I'm trying to say here is that dip doesn't have to be the ugh. Okay. And the yay, my life is great. Everything's awesome. And I'm so successful and I'm so happy and I'm so fit right now and everything's great. Well, there was a time then when they weren't. Okay. And there are times when they aren't. And they're just not showing you that because they're not comfortable doing that, or that's not their shtick, or that's not the situation with what they're doing on social media. So you can't use that as a comparison. It's not realistic at all. Like the fake versions of love and the fake versions of success and the fake versions of relationships that were sold in movies, on television, on TikTok, it's not realistic. So do not compete with that, please. If you are in a dip, acknowledge that you can negotiate how you manage and handle that dip. Now, some things I've been doing are, and my dip isn't that low. I had kind of a crappy day. Was it yesterday or the day? Yeah, I think it was yesterday. I was really kind of, um, Friday was a fantastic day. It was so good, you guys. You guys, Friday was 12 weeks post surgery. So 12 weeks since my open heart surgery. 12 weeks. That was Friday. And I was feeling great. I was doing great in cardiac rehab. I had cardiac rehab that day, and I was on the elliptical, and I was riding the bike, which I love the bike. Oh my gosh, I'm riding the bike, and I was kicking butt, man. I was doing great. My numbers were good. I felt good, and I've been doing yoga for a week now. And I have to adapt. Obviously, I have to modify because I can't let myself get discouraged, and I won't, because I'm in the dip already. I know I'm in the dip a little, right? I'm not totally all the way in the dip, but I'm in the dip. I'm kind of in the midways dip. I'm in the shallow end of the pool where I can wade in, kind of thing. And I have to be aware of that self-talk about comparing to either the lady that's teaching the yoga or to my old version of myself, because 3 months ago, 12 weeks ago, everything went crash. I hit the wall and I literally couldn't exercise or do activity at all. Couldn't do the walking that I used to do, couldn't do light weights, the weights I used to do, couldn't do any of the machines, couldn't do any of the yoga really. I mean, a little bit with the legs, but that's about it. And could not do boxing. And that is fucking depressing. And now I'm climbing back into kind of a balancing place where I'm like trying to figure out what works and what doesn't. And that takes trial and error. So when you're in the dip, it's trial and error. Just because something doesn't work, like I can't do planks. That's my goal for this year, by the way. And I'm hoping in the next 3 months, I'll be able to do them because I'm doing them on the wall, but I'm not able to do them just full out standing because I can't to hold, because I had this sternum thing, like I had open heart surgery and they cut my chest open. So like my sternum, the bones on my rib cage have to like, they're like wired together right now, and they're healing together, but it takes some time for the bone to cover over and for the muscles and the tendons that were moved and torn and stuff to kind of heal again. And I can feel it right up here, like on my pectoral muscles, and then under my shoulder blades, especially the left side shoulder blade, I can feel it because of the way my arms were in the surgery for so long, for hours and hours and hours, like I don't know how many hours, 9 hours or something. I mean, it was freaking long, right? And so that really wears on those rotator cuffs, you know what I'm saying? And this one was already a little wonky, so this one's so the dip that I'm in, the little dip, I'm balancing my expectations of myself, knowing I can't go gangbusters and kick ass and like poof, poof, do it again like I used to. But instead, I do the downward dog instead of the planks, which is my ass in the air and my hands down. Okay, that's what it is if you don't know yoga. And by the way, the yoga I'm doing is that 30-day free yoga with Adrienne. You can Google her on YouTube and it's free, and it's flow. It's what it's called. It's really good this time. It's very gentle. Of course, I'm modifying, so it's very gentle for me. I can't even do like the the cobras and stuff. I can't do the stretching and stuff, but I can do, cat cow, and I can be on my knees, and I can stick my ass in the air, and I can rotate my hips, and I can do all the leg stuff, and I can modify so that I can do all the warrior poses. And now my arms, I can lift my arms up, and my arms are very strong and getting very, very strong. And it's no big deal. I'm not stiff like I used to be. I just have to be still careful here about the midline. And that will take time to rebuild these muscles because they have to heal, which they have been healing, which is great. But now I have to teach them again how to strengthen themselves and work together. And so it's going to take some time for that. But my point is that comparison can fucking kill you. Okay. That's a buzzkill. That's a deal breaker. Whether the comparison is in relationship and romantic relationship, what kind of marriage do you have? What kind of relationship do you have? By the way, there's multiple types. Did you know that? There's not just black and white. There's not just happy and blah. There's like an in between, right? And same with your friendships. You have some friends that you probably talk to once a year or twice a year, and you probably have friends you talk to every single day, and you probably have friends you haven't talked to since high school, but you could pick up the phone and talk to them like it was yesterday or whatever. Like I have really good friends like that from childhood that every couple years or so, my sister was best friends with the one of the girls, and I was best friends with the other girl, and so they're sisters and we're sisters, and we lived across the street from each other, the Gullicksons. And so we would, we catch up with them a couple years ago. In fact, they're the ones 3 years ago, this January, no, 2 years ago, 2 years ago, this January, they met us and we went and saw Air Supply in concert. So it was so much fun. But so there's a lot of degrees and levels and variations of things. So there's not a canned one way to do something. When you think about a recipe, okay, and I'm thinking recipes because my husband has been making bread and cookies and oh my God, so much yummy. And he has the best chocolate chip cookies. But he started with a recipe for chocolate chip cookies and he didn't like it. And he experimented and he used one of his mom's recipes and he changed it a little bit. And he wanted a little more cake like, and then he didn't like the taste. And, he experimented for a while. So you start with a recipe, you start with the basics, relationship basics, and then you adapt it and adjust it till it's really satisfying like that. Do you see what I'm saying? Same with like the exercise scenario. If you're just starting by getting off the couch and you're walking to the mailbox every day or you're walking the dog around the cul-de-sac, that's enough. That's great. Okay. Don't let the skinny minis on TikTok that are trying to sell you the protein powder make you feel like crap. There's no, we are different people. We are individuals. So when I share stuff here in Above Life channel and we talk about psychic stuff and we connect with the afterlife and we talk to Freddie Mercury and like we just talked to Matthew Perry a couple weeks ago and, Prince and there's all the people. It's different how it impacts each and every one of us because we're individual. We're not the same. And the way you connect is different to your favorite celebrity or your grandma in the afterlife. I mean, it's not the same. There's no one way. There's no one size fits all. And so I want to remind you to make sure that you take in the information like that I'm giving you or Amanda Ellis gives you or whoever your favorite person is, or like the astrology lady I recommended, Molly McCord, or Esther Hicks, Abraham Hicks, or whatever you listen to, that's your jam, okay? Take it with the information with not, this is the expert, this is information. It's not the right answer. It's not the way. If you're looking for the magic pill or the cure, there's not that. It's a process of putting things together, gathering things up that work for you. It's like putting a bouquet of flowers in a vase, and each of the flowers are tools that work for you. So you might love yoga. It might be something that works for you. It might not. So maybe a breath exercise or a certain type of meditation might work for you. So that's a different kind of flower that goes into the vase. Do you know what I mean? And like oils, I love oils. I love the emerald temple oils. I'm now getting really into blue dragon alchemy. The beautiful soul's name is Argon, and they create the most beautiful oils. So, oh, I love them. Oh, they're very connected to the 13 moon oracle deck, the archetypes and the energy in there, or to Ariel Spilsbury's work in the 13 moon mystery school. Also, I should mention another connection to that would be Priestess Presence Temple with Elaine Kalila Sophia Doughty. So these are lots of different types of resources, right? But they don't fit everybody. Like the deep divine feminine, the deep archetypal work doesn't fit everybody. And I'm not talking Carolyn Mace archetypal work or Carl Jung archetypal work. I'm talking divine feminine archetypal work as channeled through Ariel Spilsbury and her 13 moon work, which 13 moon is this. This is the deck that I use, right? This is the one that I use that you've seen. This is what I use in my mentoring work. I use this. I do use some of the archetypal energies. I think it's a really good way to kind of a good container to hold, especially if you're doing mentoring work and things like that with me. It's quite beautiful. It's very deep, and you do a lot of your own work. It does have a lot of shadow work in it, but I know, like I said, with the dips, it's a balance. Okay, it's not just peaks and valleys. There's a pause that happens sometimes when you're in the dips, and the pause is required so that you can process and digest whatever archetypal energy you're working with, or whatever new tool you got introduced to. Maybe you learned a new healing modality or a new clearing modality. Maybe you're using dowsing rods. I should show and tell all the tools I have. I have so many. Maybe you're doing singing bowls. My friend is doing a sound bath today, and so she's discovered these beautiful connection that she has to singing bowls, and she's doing a sound bath in the yoga studio that she teaches in. And so like that kind of thing. And yes, I have singing bowls. Yes, I have two drums. Well, I have one that I made years ago. Years ago, before that was a cool thing. I also have, I'm looking right at it right now. I also have a rattle. So, I mean, and I have a cauldron over here, and I have a chalice, and I have incense, and I have oghams, Celtic tree wisdom, and I mean, I have so many tools, and so do you. So when you're in the dips, it might be a time for integration, for just to be. And it's frustrating because you want to go, 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 because your ego mind, right? Your ego mind is used to that. So we have to teach the ego mind. So maybe right now in the dips and in this 2024 in January, it's a time to train your mind, to work with your mind to help heal it, not to tell it it's wrong and it's bad. I do not believe that ego means edge God out. I know that's a popular saying that Dr. Wayne Dyer used to say. And I think maybe Louise Hay might have said that. I can't remember, but I know Dr. Wayne Dyer did. And I don't believe that. I don't think the ego intends to edge anything out. I think it just is doing its job, and it's very, focused and very logical and that's okay. That's just the way it is. So maybe we work with it. Oops. Sorry. I have a session in like an hour, 15 minutes. I'm going to have to wrap in a little bit. But I think that the ego mind is a great opportunity right now during the dip to let the ego mind chill, to learn ways to manage that stress, maybe through EFT or tapping with the tapping solution. There's a lot of different things you can do, you can utilize and activate to really support the brain in a way that softens it to the new stuff that's coming in, because there's new stuff and it just doesn't know. It's going to be slow to change. It's just going to be slow. Don't let it be the judge and jury. Just know that it's gonna do that. It's gonna be a negative Nelly, and it's gonna be like, "Nah, nah, 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 complain, complain, complain. It's a bad thing, bad, 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 bad," because it wants you to stay safe, and the best way to do that is stay in the womb. Never leave the house, never do anything, wrap them in bubble wrap. I used to say when my kids were little, because it's like, "Oh my gosh, are they gonna get hurt 15 times?" How many times you go to the ER, when you have kids and stuff, and the doctor and whatever. It's like, "Oh my gosh, I gotta just wrap them in bubble wrap," like that, right? That's kind of the way the brain thinks of us. It thinks we're really, you know, not like it does. We need to listen to the brain, so it's gonna amplify, it's gonna get, like, more intense. So we need to, like, be peaceful with it and compassionate to it, and recognize that when we start to have feelings that are coming from our negative self-talk, we need to then give back to the mind, not run away from it, not hide, not do old patterns of distraction, vices. And I gotta say, in the Sunday morning coffee, I mean, I do coffee, but I did decaf for like 3 weeks, you guys, and it about killed me. So I just started back on caffeine Friday, but just one, and very, very watered down. So it's like an Americana, and I'm better for it. I just tell you, because then my brain works better too. Like I can remember stuff. But I'm sorry to probably okay. I'm trying to say, like, we don't need devices to distract us from our minds. We don't need extra chocolate, like, that's mine, is food. Like, I'm a food person, like, I will eat food to distract me from my emotions, but my emotions usually feel the way they do because of my brain. It's not because of me, because me inside is so sweet and wonderful and awesome, and so too are you. It's just that you've learned this, you've been in relationship with your brain, and you can't break up with your mind. Don't do that, I don't recommend it, it's not a good idea, okay? It's not a good idea. Well, what am I gonna do with this hair? I get it cut next week, so we'll have to see. Anyway, I want to say hello to the chat, and then I got to wrap so that I can maybe switch to tea for my session. I was going to say my counseling session, but it's my session with my client session. Yes, I have started doing client sessions again. They're somewhat limited, so I might be a little limited, but I have a pretty good schedule right now. It's pretty open. I do like one a day. I can do one a day. I haven't done one a day, but I can do one a day. Hi, Seal. Nice to see you. It's always a hard one for me. Yeah, it is. Hi, Drew. Oh my gosh. Wow. Hello to Denmark. Oh, hello, Anna. Hi, Cynthia. We don't focus on like negative dramatic stuff. Lisa from Florida, nice to see you. Yeah. You're welcome to stay though, Cynthia. We just aren't that kind of channel. We are not that. We are not drama mama. Patty. Right, thank you. Sunday is Sunday morning coffee. Hi, Vianne. Nice to see you. How am I feeling? Pretty well, actually. Pretty well. I don't, the medication makes me a little tired, but usually it's later in the day, so it's fine. And I'm feeling awesome when I get to exercise. And I'm so happy because, like, guys, I'm walking the treadmill, doing like a mile and a half on the treadmill. I'm doing some leg weights, and I'm also doing a bike. I have a bike at home, and I'm doing yoga during the day too, like trying to get back into the physical shape. And it's hard. It's not easy. It's hard, yeah. And I have missed a couple of Sunday morning coffees and channeling, also because I've been in a dip. I've had a dip. I did have a dip after my kids. My kids were here for the holidays, and then when they left, I kind of felt some sadness. There was some stuff. Happy New Year back to you. Thank you. I felt some stuff that came up for me after, because I got to see all my kids together at once in my house, all together for the holiday for just a day, but it was like a lot. And I had so much emotion that I couldn't really express it because that was the first time I'd seen them since the event, since the open heart surgery, and since I was back. I mean, I've seen each of them individually, but I haven't seen them all together because two of them live far away. One of them's in Iowa for college, and one of them lives um, in Minnesota, but like 2 hours away and has a job there. And so she works at a hospital. And so I don't, and she works night shift too. So I don't get to see them all together at once. And so it was it was a little surreal, overwhelming, and I kind of didn't know what to do about it. It was different than it's ever been. And I was like I didn't know. It was very mixed for me. So I had some stuff after that. And then yeah, I just had to kind of handle it. So it's crazy. So because the surgery was a traumatic experience, which I'm working through with my counselor. So, but I am doing well. I'm feeling really good as far as physically. I'm physically able to do things. I can do sessions. Yeah, my seasonal depression or my seasonal affective disorder. That's the thing that's been my little bugger lately. I've been sleeping a lot more, and I know that's the dip for me too, and that's normal during January, like Seal said too, during January. So, hi, Michelle. Thank you for asking. Thank you. Just going to make sure I say hello, and then I got to pop off here so I can get ready for. I'm talking to somebody on the East Coast again today, long-term client, and she's awesome. I really love her, and I have the best people. I'm so lucky. Just make sure I didn't miss anybody here. So lucky. I guess it's snowing there too. So you're in a dip and it sucks. I know, Patty. You guys, Patty needs some love. Love for Patty. She's a mod, and she hurt her foot. Yeah, broke it, I think it was, right? And so she has really had it rough. And I think it was right before Christmas. I hope I'm not speaking out of class here by telling people that. So let's give some hearts to Patty for healing, to help support her as she let me see if I can find some here. Let's see. Patty. Am I right, Patty? I'm going to do the old school. Hugs and kisses. There we go. Diane sending healing. Yeah, there you go. I've been sleeping more. Yeah, you know what? Also, the sleeping. Oh, I hit my head in my home. Oh, that's not good. Oh, you guys, sounds like we're accident prone here. Energy vibes for Drew, also for healing. All right, you guys, I need to do a session, or we need to have an Above Life channel session for healthy energy. I said that last week when I was on, but I really think we need to do it because I think that's a piece that's talk about a dip, right? And I'd really like to help support that. Maybe tomorrow, if I can jump on, I can do a little healing work with all of us and see what we can do about that for everybody and to help with the current healing right now. Not focusing on any kind of drama or trauma around it necessarily, just acknowledging that it happened and then what the uplifting energy of kind of buoying us back to shore, getting us to where we need to be kind of thing. So. All right, my beautiful people. Thank you so much for being here on Sunday Morning Coffee at Above Life Channel. So yes, I am a psychic. Yeah, I'm also an intuitive life coach. And in the work that I do here in Above Life Channel, it started off as afterlife celebrity channeling. So if you're here for that and you really want that and you really need that and you really think that that's the best part of this place, go check out the playlist. There are hundreds of videos for all your favorite celebrities, from Elvis to Marilyn Monroe, to Natalie Wood, to Judy Garland, to Robin Williams, to all of these incredible people that have given us support in our own exploration of intuition and how to be a better person, how to show up more in our human life from this advice or advisement that they're giving us from the afterlife, which is quite beautiful, actually. And so I'm hoping soon I can return back to channeling. We usually channel on Mondays. So if you're here, we usually channel Mondays. Um, haven't officially done that for a bit because of my healing status. Really need to keep my physical body pristine. I need to really protect my energy and not um, allow other things to commingle right now. It's just too messy, 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 messy. So tomorrow I will show up and do my goal is to, unless I get like a migraine or something. Sometimes I get these little weird headaches and I think it's from the medicine or from the blood pressure thing. And then I can't work. Like I can't see to do it. It kind of makes my eyes wonky. Um, so that doesn't happen all the time, but I've had them the last like 4 days though. So it's kind of weird. And it's not painful. It's not like a normal migraine. It's just, I just can't see. Like I can talk on the phone, but I can't see. So hopefully I'll be fine and I'll be here. So let's focus on doing some healing work tomorrow. Okay, everyone. All right. So thank you so much for being here. I hope I've inspired your spirit and filled you with some hope and encouraged you to live your life. It's your life after all, and you get to live it. Okay? Trust me on this one. Live it. Just live it. Thank you for being here, everybody. Thanks.